there's an inevitable hurdle that you have to come across. And that's the point at which you need to turn action into results. Like at some point, as you're building out this idea, starting your company, making progress, you need to be able to turn your action and effort into results. Like at some point, the business has to become profitable. And I think a lot of times people hit this first hurdle that sometimes can derail them. At first, figuring out, okay, number one, what is the most critical, highest ROI task that you need to do in order to generate revenue? So let's use real estate, for example. If you want to become a real estate agent or you want to start a company that's selling a product or service, the number one activity that you need to do is get in front of more customers, whether that's cold calling, marketing. Prospecting is your number one activity. How do you get in front of more people? But they find themselves not actually completing the task. And it's a question of, is that a discipline thing or is that a systems problem? And I think fundamentally, the question you have to ask yourself is that most entrepreneurs don't actually have a problem with discipline. People who start their own business, are in sales, usually have no problem doing the work. That's why you're in the position you're in. You don't mind putting in the hours. And like within your day, you might have 10, 12, 15 hours of work that you've set aside to accomplish your objective. But the question is, are you actually doing those highest ROI tasks? Here's what I mean. For example, if your goal on your calendar today was 1 hour of prospecting, you need to define what prospecting looks like. If it's cold calls, are you actually doing 1 whole hour of cold calls? Or are you spending 30 minutes like optimizing your call dialer or cleaning up your CRM and then doing 30 minutes of cold calls? But of those 30 minutes, maybe you only did 10 because you answered a few texts. So like in your head, you're completing the work. I had an hour of prospecting. I did an hour of prospect related work. That's not the same as doing 1 hour of complete focus, cold calling or dialing, emailing, whatever your prospecting method is.